Yousei is recommended for individuals 13 and up for depictions of crime scenes and blood. Viewer discretion is advised.
I can't believe the thief actually returned.
The what? Oh, this can't end well. The real football reaches me first. He reaches down and grabs me by the arm.
Got him!
That sounds ominous. Real football pulls at my arm and I grudgingly stand.
Good job, David. Take him to the lab upstairs.
The lab? Guess I am in a horror movie after all! I'd rather not be killed in a creepy school lab, though. Lab sounds like fun! Lab sounds like fun. The young woman's eyes narrow. She's less than impressed with my snark.
Is that why you came back? Because you think this is fun?
Came back? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Says the guy who broke into our lab last week.
Wait, what? Broke in? I've never been here before.
Then you won't mind coming with us and answering a few questions.
I guess not. This isn't going to hurt, is it?
David, Nathan, take him in.
Ugh. David escorts me down the hallway with the other two following close behind him. War Stars, Nathan, I guess, brandishes his light sword at me as if it's a useful weapon of some sort. At the end of the hall, David ushers me into a small, sparsely furnished room. David guides me to one of the overstuffed chairs. It's not nearly as comfortable as it looks. There's a large mirror set in the wall the opposite side of the room. Clearly, it's one of those one-way mirrors they use in lab testing. Am I in some sort of study room? So, hey.
Don't talk. We're not gonna consort with the likes of you.
Oh, ow.
Don't talk. We're not gonna consort with the likes of you.
I just pulled my earphone out of my ear. That hurt. Ow. Consort? Nathan raises a haughty eyebrow, but doesn't deign to respond. Right. Okay, no consorting. You guys want to at least tell me why I'm here?
You're the guy who broke in.
Yes, I caught that part. Do you really think that? David shrugs. He looks almost bored. He almost looks bored.
I only saw the tape once. There's other stuff on my mind these days.
Hey, we're not supposed to consort.
I'm not consorting. Dude just wants to know why he's here.
Nathan points his light sword at me.
What if he's from Western? They've been trying to get their hands on our research for years.
I don't know, man. He doesn't look smart enough to be Western.
Do you always make it practice to insult and ignore people simultaneously? The door swings open, cutting off any response that David might offer me. The young woman enters carrying a slim, brown folder. She sits across from me at the table and nods at David and Nathan. They leave without a word. Well, I guess there's no question who's in charge here.
Are you comfortable?
Not particularly, but I'm going out on a limb here and guessing that's kind of the point. A thin smile appears on her face.
We use this room for sleep studies mostly. It's supposed to be neutral.
Well, it's very neutral. Good job, or mediocre job, I guess? Her expression tightens.
I'm afraid we're still strangers. My name is Jupiter.
Kangai.
Unusual, but I suppose I'm not one to talk. It's okay. You can laugh.
She pauses for a brief moment to search my expression.
Do you know why you're here?
That's a pretty deep question. Why is anyone here? Does humankind even have a purpose? Oh, I love myself. She stares at me with that remark. I can't tell if she's amused or annoyed.
The campus may be a public university, but this lab is off limits to anyone without clearance. I'd like to know how you came to be wandering around alone in our hallway.
I'm here with a tour guide, the high school welcoming program or something.
A tour group of one? With no guide?
I sort of lost them, but hey, if you let me go, I can go look for them. Jupiter doesn't respond. I can't read her expression at all.
Last Monday, someone broke into this lab and stole some very important research.
That's, too bad.
It is too bad. Thankfully for us, we caught him on film.
She pulls out a printout from a slim folder and slides it across the table towards me. The moment I see it, my heart sinks. No wonder this place looked familiar. On the table sits a grainy image I've seen before. The last time I saw it, we were digging through McAuten's secret files after he died. He had a video file of me walking down a hallway, but I don't remember ever being in such a place. At the time, we assumed it was old footage from when I came to Edgewater. We didn't know why he had it, but it didn't seem too relevant. Apparently, it was. I look up at see Jupiter studying my face.
So you recognize it?
Well, yeah, he looks like me. She shakes her head.
I mean, you've seen this exact image before. Where?
I was just surprised to see this guy looks like me. That's all. Jupiter sighs and glances briefly at a mirror set in the wall. Oh. I guess Dave and Nathan are on the other side watching me. They're probably analyzing my reactions or something.
I don't have time for this.
She isn't buying a word I'm saying.
How's this? I won't press charges if you tell me who hired you to steal that. Was it Western State?
Who? There's a soft wrapping on the glass. Some sort of signal, I suppose.
Maybe you're telling the truth. Maybe you're not.
She slides back in her chair and stands.
But we'll leave that for the police to sort out.
The police? The door swings open with a slow creak. You have got to be kidding!
Well, this is the least surprising call I've gotten all day.
Hi, Officer Sexy. I'm sorry. I didn't do anything. I sigh and hang my head. Just me, or does he get more stubble each time we see him? You gotta shave, dude. Or, nah, I like the stubble. Keep the stubble. It wasn't me, officer. The word sounds so recited by now.
Right, it never is.
Detective Gursky rubs the side of his head as if he's already got a headache. He steps closer to me and lowers his voice.
Where are the others? Aki's not supposed to let you out of her sight.
She's the one who told me to split off from the group. Sorry.
Never mind.
He pulls out a phone and taps the screen a few times.
All on campus, at least. That's good.
Are you tracking them?
It's part of the job description.
Are you tracking me?
Are you sure you want to know?
Oh God, where did you slip the tracker? Never mind. I don't want to know. Could at least ask, and then we could have fun with it. Not really. Detective Gursky taps the screen a few more times before pocketing his phone.
All right. What's this all about?
She says I broke into this lab.
Officer, we have video evidence of his entry.
Breaking in, huh?
He frowns at me.
Did he take anything?
He did. He copied some research for a project we're working on.
She glances at the mirror.
It's important.
And when did this break-in take place?
Last week, Monday night, 10:52. We found out about it on Tuesday morning.
Gursky turns to me.
Where were you at that time?
At that time, I was on a bus headed towards Edgewater. I wasn't even in the city at the time. But I lied about my name when I got the ticket. There'd be no proof of me on that bus. I was... The door busts open and a girl with platinum blonde hair and white eyes pokes her head into the room.
He was with me!
Chance? What are you... Chance? The doorway stands Chance Jackson, a part-time barista and full-time aspiring singer. We met first at a cafe shop last week. That's when I tripped over the dead body that got me tangled up in all this craziness. I didn't expect to see her again and certainly didn't expect for her to lie to cover for me.
Miss Jackson?
Mr. Gursky is just as surprised as I am.
Officer, hello again.
She's such a cutie. Chance gives Gursky a small wave.
I was just coming by to drop off lunch for my boyfriend and I heard they caught a thief. But you've got it all wrong. It's not him at all.
She looks at me and her eyes begin to well with tears.
Don't arrest poor Kangai.
Poor Kangai?
He glances questioningly at me out of the corner of his eye. I shrug.
He was at the coffee shop with me last week. We're open late and he was there the whole time.
Is that true?
Honestly, I don't trust her. So let's just go with this for now. No, I was somewhere else, but I can't prove it.
Somewhere else?
Yeah.
You're not giving me much to work with, kid. Miss Jackson, are you certain that he was with you last Monday night?
Chance blinks. She looks surprised.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought you said Thursday.
I'm not sure how anyone could make that mistake. She looks at Detective Gursky with apologetic smile and giggles.
I guess I didn't really think things through bursting in here like that.
Now there's a surprise.
Jupiter's dry utterance is just loud enough for Chance to hear, but the barista cheerfully ignores her. I'm going to assume there's a history here I don't know about, and I'm going to assume I don't want to know about it. Detective Gursky turns to Jupiter.
I'd like to see the video you mentioned earlier.
Of course. Follow me.
Gursky points at me.
You come with us.
I what?
I'm not letting you out of my sight, kid. Now get up and let's go.
Ugh. Alright. I scramble to my feet and follow him out the door. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Chance slip away from the group, looking for her boyfriend, I guess. Jupiter leads us down the hallway, around a few corners, and into a large room hidden in the back of the building. I kind of expected a huge jumble of beakers and test tubes filled with mysterious boiling liquids, but everything's a lot more orderly than that. Oh, God. Sorry about that. A lone laptop sits on one of the counters. Jupiter strides up to it and types in a password.
Right here. David and I are the only ones with clearance to view the security footage, so none of the others have seen this.
The screen lights up with a video that I found hidden at Mr. Otten's place last week. There's not much to it, just someone who looks like me walking down a main hallway. At one point, he briefly glances at the camera and offers a small salute.
That's not very subtle.
It's also not me.
Then who is it? Your evil twin? An android?
Yes, officer. I don't know! Detective Gursky sighs and turns to Jupiter.
Could you give us a moment?
He grabs my arm and drags me to the corner of the room.
Listen, kid, you're on really thin ice here. We all thought highly of you and your sister. But who's to say you haven't changed these last 3 years? You've disappeared without a trace, and 2 people have died since your return. The worst part is, all of these deaths tie back to your history. You don't think that's at least a little bit suspicious?
But I didn't!
Even if you didn't kill them, you're involved. Give me a good reason why I shouldn't just arrest you now.
Because he's with us.
Thank you! Aki, I can kiss you! Aki places a firm hand on his shoulder and looks him directly in the eye.
And you know what that means.
I'm well aware of what it means. Are you?
He releases his grip on me, okay.
What are you doing here anyway?
Aki holds up her phone.
You texted me in order to come right away.
She doesn't bother to hide the sarcasm in her voice.
And when my handler says jump,
I meant, why are you at the University of Edgewater? I wasn't informed that you were on assignment. And where are the others?
with their tour guide, as they should be. We're here on official business. I called it in this morning.
She folds her arms across her
Schultz
chest.
gave us the green light.
Schultz? Hang on, she's involved? Aki and Detective Gursky look at me, surprised.
She's the one in charge of our little work program. Didn't I tell you?
No, you never mentioned she was part of this.
And how do you know her?
She was in charge of a similar work program with me. Aki's eyes light up.
Oh, Khan, you bad boy. I didn't know it was like that.
What? It's not. We volunteered for it. Unlike you, I didn't have to get arrested before I decided to work with the police. Aki shrugs.
Our way was more fun.
Yeah, that's one word for it.
Detective Gursky rolls his eyes. His pretty blue eyes.
Anyway, as delightful as this game of compare and contrast is, we do have more pressing matters. So maybe one of you two wants to fill me in?
Aki coughs and shoots a meaningful glance over my shoulder. Jupiter is leaning against the wall, staring at us. David and Nathan peer in through the doorway, trying not to look conspicuous. Trying hard to look conspicuous, sorry. They're all staring at us. We're too far away for them to have heard our conversation, but they're definitely curious about what we're talking about.
Outside, then.
The tone of his voice says there's no room for argument.
Lead the way, officer.
Detective Gursky gives me one last look before he and Aki exit the lab. David and Nathan scramble to get out of their way, stumbling into the lab like some sort of slapstick routine. Once they untangle from each other, they quickly take up posts on the other side of Jupiter. Okay. So yeah. No response. Great. The room falls silent and I struggle for something to say. Or do. Or... I don't know.
And behind this door is our Cave of Wonders, the main lab.
God. Aaron's voice echoes from the hallway, breaking through the silence. He swings the door open and sings a little fanfare.
Ta-da!
Uh-huh. Naoki and Lee Mei stand behind Aaron. They look relieved to see me. Oh, hey, found my group.
Uh-oh. Looks like something bad happened.
His finger hovers instinctively over his camera, ready to capture every bad moment. Whatever bad moment might occur.
He's the one who stole our research last Monday.
No, he's not. He's my host student.
Jupiter points to her computer screen.
Oh.
He turns to me with a hurt expression on his face.
Kangai, did you really steal from us?
No! I roll my eyes. I know what it looks like, but it's not me.
Then how do you explain it?
Naoki raises his hand timidly.
Who are you?
Kisaki Suitani.
My other host student.
Aaron casts him a sideways
You're
glance.
not a thief too, are you?
Hey, the jury's still out on me, you know. Innocent until proven guilty. Have you heard of it?
That's hardly the point. What? If you have something to say, just speak up.
Hey, be nice to Naoki. Don't look at his adorable face. How can you yell at that?
Oh, okay.
Naoki approaches the computer and points at the person on the screen.
It's just that I noticed the hair is different. He doesn't have the black on the ends.
The guy in the video has solid, dirty blonde hair. Unlike mine, I still have the remains of when I dyed my hair black last year. Naoki has pointed it out the first time we watched it. But we just assumed the video was taken before I dyed my hair. If this video was taken last week, that might actually count as evidence in my favor. Jupiter crosses her arms.
And what if he dyed it after this video?
But wouldn't he dye all of his hair in that case? Or get it cut?
I suppose, but it's still a flimsy alibi. And that's currently all he's got going for him right now.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
I mean, it's enough of a difference to think it might be someone else, right?
We'll see after the police sort it out.
Where'd that police dude go anyway?
Jupiter sighs.
Don't you two have somewhere to be? Like office hours in the library?
Oh,
Right.
Dios mío, do I have to remind you of everything? Try not to keep your students waiting too long.
The two of them scurry off out of the room and slam the door shut behind them. The room falls into an uncomfortable silence, punctuated by the sound of footsteps echoing in the hallway. Before their footsteps fade, the bell at the center of campus begins to ring.
And now they're late.
Something wrong?
I'm not sure.
Naoki frowns. He looks troubled.
It's not the same.
What's not the same? He turns away from Jupiter and whispers to me.
The bell sounds different than it did this morning.
I shrug. Sounds the same to me. It's probably nothing. His expression tightens. Remember? Not photographic memory, but absolutely perfect memory? If you care that much, go check it out. He bops his head back and forth as if he's having trouble making a decision.
What's wrong?
I was just wondering if there was something special about the bell that just rang.
Not particularly.
We can go look at it if you want.
Are you sure?
Uh-huh. Let's go.
But what about Haru? Maybe we should wait for her.
Go ahead. We'll let her know where you are when she gets back. Naoki thinks about it for a moment before nodding.
Okay, let's go.
Iron and Naoki leave, and the room again settles into yet another uncomfortable silence. It seems to be the theme of the day. Now might be a good time to try and convince Juniper I'm innocent. I just want you to know I'm not the guy in the video.
You know, the more you say it, the less trustworthy you sound.
Fuck. Yeah, I guess so.
Let me be honest with you. I'm not above saying there's reasonable doubt. The video is blurry, your hair is different. Maybe it's not you. But the way you're behaving doesn't instill much trust. You're clearly hiding something.
Ugh, she's sharp. We all have our secrets, don't we?
Yes, but mine is simply an obsession with fantasy movies. Yours is...
She looks...
I sense that you've been feeling guilty for a while.
Hey, did you miss me?
Aki pokes her head into the room and flashes me a teasing grin. I'm not sure how to answer that.
You could say yes.
And where's the detective?
Out. He said he had to call someone.
Aki tosses herself casually into one of the stools and spins around.
Where's my brother?
He went off to the clock tower with Aaron.
Why?
Her voice tenses up. Said the chiming sounded funny. He seemed really bothered by it, so I told him to go check it out. No big deal, it's probably nothing, but...
Nothing?
God, what? Aki stands up so quickly that she knocks her stool over. Even Lee May looks a little
Colin,
worried.
you don't understand. It's never nothing.
She turns to Lee May.
Are you getting anything?
Lee May shakes her head apologetically.
It is too far away. I cannot make anything out.
Then we're going.
Aki strides out the door without another word, and Lee May follows her obediently. I'm just gonna... Jupiter waves me off absentmindedly.
Just go.
I rejoin Aki and Lee May outside the biology building.
Which way did they go?
I think this path is the shortest. I point at the narrow path that cuts across the campus to the clock tower. Wordlessly, Aki takes off at a flat-out run, feet pounding against the concrete. Lee May follows without question. Her steps are smaller than Aki's, but she seems to float effortlessly above the ground. I chase after the two girls, but it's becoming increasingly difficult to keep up with them. Lee May glances over her shoulder and notices me struggling to keep up. She slows her pace, holding a spot somewhere between Aki and me. My heart is pounding harder and faster. Since when was running this difficult? Aki disappears over a hill, and I find myself gasping for air as I slow to an uneven jog. My head is throbbing too. What's wrong with me? Dragging my feet along the ground, I realize that Lee May has stopped moving. She stands at the top of the hill, clutching her stomach. If she and I are both feeling this sick, there's the top of the hill, and we both stand in the shadow of the clock tower.
It's death.
Lee May gives voice to what we both already know. My Kansai and hers are both churning in the presence of a dead body. Someone who died recently, from the feel of it. Listen, if you stay out here, I can tell Aki you're not... If you want to stay out here, I can tell Aki you're not feeling well. She shakes her head.
I will go.
I take a deep breath and steel my nerves. Then let's go together. She nods and we approach the tower. As we enter the tower, I feel another wave of nausea wash over me. I look around the small room, but there's nothing. The sound of voices floats down from above us. It must be upstairs. Lee May and I look at each other and nod. The two of us laboriously climb the wooden stairs to the top of the bell tower. With each step, I find it harder to breathe. I can't remember being this tired before. Whatever this death was, it must have been brutal to leave such a strong emotional imprint. I reach the top of the stairs and freeze. My mind screams out, telling me to turn around and look away, but I don't move. Behind me, I hear Lee May catching her breath. In the far corner of the room, Naoki sits curled up in a trembling ball. His face is stained with tears. Aki is kneeling down next to him, holding him close and whispering words of comfort into his ears. At the other end of the room lies the remains of a mangled corpse, crushed by the weight of the university's giant copper bell. The mouth of the bell has nearly removed his torso. The body hangs precariously over the edge of the tower. The edge of the bell is still dripping with blood, and splatters of crimson trail down the tower walls. Aaron paces back and forth, speaking a jumble of frantic words into a phone.
No, I don't know.
A voice on the other end of the phone tries to calm him down, but he grows increasingly agitated.
No. You don't get it. It's Dr. Johansson.
Fuck. My stomach threatens to abandon me entirely, and I'm suddenly glad I didn't eat any lunch yet. Dr. Johansson, the only man who had answers, now lies in front of me, shorn nearly in two.
Con.
snaps me out of my daze. She staring directly at me. Naoki lies in her arms, his body shivering, his eyes are shut tight.
You need to go. Your Kansei is going to overpower you if you stay any longer.
I nod and turn away. She's right. I sit on the top step of the staircase and breathe slowly, trying to get my bearings. Lee May sits beside me. She looks sad and terrified and very, very confused. Are you okay? She starts and blinks a few times, as if I surprised her. Are you okay? She pauses to think carefully about her answer, to sort out her emotions from ours.
No, I am not okay.
Yeah, me neither. We both stare down the long staircase of steps that we so painstakingly ascended. Neither of us wants to turn back to face the grotesque body. Finally, Lee May takes a deep breath and stands. We need to leave.
Yes.
The longer we stay there, the worse it's going to be. We make our way down the staircase carefully. With each step, I can feel the weight of the dead lifting slightly. At the bottom, I pause for a moment to catch my breath. I can still hear the voices echoing through the stone tower. Aaron sounds even more frantic than before. Something warm splashes against my cheek. Ugh, I suddenly feel sick again. I reach up and touch my cheek. I look at my hand. My fingers are stained with blood. No, please. I didn't touch the body, but I still come in contact with the deceased. My Kansei is already creeping into my mind. I bite my tongue, trying to force myself to stay conscious, but I can feel my knees buckling under me.
Kangai!
I don't want to relive this man's death. I don't. My struggles are useless. I can't hold back my Kansei anymore. The world goes blank. Go black. I brace myself for the pounding of this man received, but it doesn't come. Instead, every part of my body screams in pain. Instinctively, I tighten my jaw, and my jaw complies. Wait, since when was I able to control my actions during these visions? There's something wet in my throat. I try to cough it up. In the distance, I can hear the faint echo of someone's coughing. Is that me? I hear friendly voices. Who's talking? Slowly, I turn my head and force my eyes open. Aki is kneeling on the ground in front of me, staring at me with horror. She instinctively turns Naoki's head away from me and rests his face on her shoulder. Aaron stands nearby, open-mouthed. His phone slips from his hand and lands on the stone floor with a dim clatter. I can hear it, but it sounds so distant. I turn my head slowly. Where's the body? I don't see it anywhere. As I look around the room, realization sinks in. I can't see it, because I am the corpse. I try to speak out, but my throat is filled with blood. Little more than the sound of choked bubbling escapes from my lips. Aki looks like she's trying to say something. My vision is starting to blur. Before I can do anything, the world around me fades away. I see faces now. People I don't recognize as voices I don't know. There's a weight on my chest. I'm sinking further and further, and the weight keeps pushing me harder. Bright colors fill my vision, and my body feels like it's on fire. Everything feels like it's spinning faster and faster. I scream, but I don't hear anything. Finally, the world turns black.